Hey, welcome to OP Said. I'm Marie, and today's Reddit stories are going to leave you speechless.
And I'm May, and we're diving into drama, surprise, and a little bit of chaos. And I'm Mel. Get ready, this one's going to be fun.
Okay, so first up, this one caught my eye immediately. It's from Am I Overreacting? Am I overreacting? I just had a realization that my husband is not taking care of me at all. I'm 30 and he's 33. We've been married for 2 years and have a toddler together. So what happened today is I went to the dentist and I need to get braces, but I don't have my own money because I'm a stay-at-home mum. In brackets, I want to work, but my husband doesn't. My parents are paying for them as a birthday gift. After the dentist appointment, I was talking to my mum and she told me that later after the braces, I will fix my eyesight too because I'm basically blind without glasses. When she told me that they will pay for my eye surgery too, something clicked in my head and I've never had that feeling before. I realised that my parents are the ones taking care of me instead of my husband, who said that he's responsible for me because I don't work and take care of our child. So I started going back with memories and I'm still shocked. When I gave birth, I had the most intense back pain and I could barely get out of bed. Every time I asked my husband to give me a massage for a bit so the pain wouldn't be as bad, he refused, saying, I'm tired and I can't. This went on for almost 2 weeks, and then I asked my mum to give me a massage and she would come over to my place so that she could help me. She even bought a massager so my husband could give me massages easily, but still he refused to do anything. Even though he knows I have no money, he still gives me only about $20 for groceries a week. Groceries are far more
20.
Groceries are far more than that, and I still use my parents' money for food for us. He complains how he doesn't have money and his salary is late every month, but somehow he always has money for expensive toys for our child. He doesn't do anything around the house, just leaves a mess behind him, and I feel like I'm his maid. There are so many other situations where my parents were the ones to take care of me and help me, but this today was an eye opener. I don't know if the anger in me is taking over right now or what I'm feeling is justified. What do you guys think?
Do you know what, sis? It took too long for you to come to this conclusion, but I'm glad you arrived there. I don't know what he's taking care of. Literally, you just said he gives you $20 per week, and then the rest of the money is supplemented via your parents. That's not someone that's taking care of home at all. I'm convinced that there's probably more that he hasn't done that your parents did for you as well. Like, I think that your memory, if you looked a bit more far back in time, there's probably more incidences. And I need you to go get that job because I don't understand how he can make you a stay-at-home mum, tell you that you shouldn't get a job even though you want to, and then have you reach out to your parents for everything that he is supposed to do. Go get that job. Firstly, go get that job. And then secondly, leave that man. How can he be late paying the rent every month without fail? That doesn't make sense to me.
I'm just really confused. Like, how can you want a stay-at-home wife or partner, but you aren't a provider? I'm really confused because he's not able to pay. Like, do you know what it is? It's one,
He's a dreamer.
do you know what? It's one thing not being able to provide for your partner or your wife, yeah? But it's another just generally not being able to provide for his family. He's not a provider. How can you want a stay-at-home wife, but you can't actually look after your family?
Yeah,
because
you
it's
can't
not
do it.
just the wife, it's the child as well. The child needs food. Every week without fail, she gets $20. That's not enough for groceries. I, by my one self, when I live like alone, I pay, I definitely, my groceries cost a lot more than £20 per week. Me by my one self. Talk less about a family of 3. Yeah? Like, this isn't adding up. I don't get it. For me, the first things first, it's not me getting a job. Absolutely not. It's actually me talking to my husband to discuss our finances because something is not working.
But Melinda,
Whether it's no. You actually need to discuss your finances. Like, how much are you bringing in? When are you bringing it in? How much needs to be set aside for groceries? Like, realistically, without the provisions of my parents, of my family, and then we can discuss also me going back to work, like getting a little part-time something, because something needs to give. I don't know, where is his money going? That's what she needs to establish. But you need to have a conversation before just getting another job. And then, you know, that money that she was getting from, or he was happy with, from her parents, her in-laws, you know, that's going to be her now taking it on. So I don't want that. What they need to do is establish exactly how much this household brings in. And then they can discuss extra finances, whether that's a part-time job, full-time job, etc., etc.
No, I completely agree. But we know where his money is going to. She said it's going to expensive kids' toys.
I'm telling you, there's more of it.
Yeah,
There's more money somewhere else. There has to be.
Yeah.
What, a toddler is between the ages of 1 and 3, let's say. There's no way you're spending that much
Exactly.
on a toy. Like, he just doesn't have it for her. That's it.
Yeah.
And when I say he doesn't have it, I don't know if it means he physically doesn't have it or he doesn't want to
he's
give
not
it.
providing
He's
and
not
putting
providing
aside.
it. Yeah, he's not doing that. But at the same time, it's like this. I'm going to ask the question that Melinda asks all the time: how did you get to marriage?
Listen.
No,
Honestly.
like how did this attitude help you get, like, say yes when he said, "Would you be my wife?" That just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, yes, obviously we understand that during the marriage he hasn't been helpful and that's what you've clicked. But I'm just like, this must be the attitude that he's had the whole time, because you can't even remember a time where he was helpful. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, this one leaves me with a big question mark, because okay, you've woken up, but like Melinda said, talk it out, set finances, set an account where you have access to, because nowhere in this story did I hear that you even have got enough for yourself. He's literally penny squeezing and telling you $20 for what's it called? What do you get for your makeup, how you look, your clothes, going out with friends, like nursery for your child? Like what's happening with you? Because from the sounds of it, you're just being helped out by your parents and he's providing with nothing.
Do you know what it's giving? It's giving financial abuse, because he, like, whether it's intentional or not, but he requested and they agreed that she would be a stay-at-home mum.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was under the guise of, I will provide for my family. He's clearly not doing that. The parents are actually the providers in this relationship. And so my advice, it's have that conversation. Yeah, the finance, I think leave. I just don't.
Me too.
Like, honestly,
do you know what?
let me know.
That is my attitude. You know that.
Like,
you know, but I'm just not gonna.
Yes, have that conversation. But I think if the maths is not mathing,
Absolutely.
leave. And right now, I can tell you, nothing's making sense. After that, Marie read that story, all I was left with was confusion. Because I don't understand how you can make someone a stay-at-home mum and not provide for her and have the parents, your parent-in-laws provide. That's not making sense to me. So for me, yes, the right thing to do would be to have that conversation, and it should be had anyway. But I guarantee there is no difference. I think actually you're probably going to live not no difference. I take it back. You're going to live a far better life.
Yeah.
Moving back home into your parents' home with your child. They're probably likely to give you more money than $20 a week to look after a family of 3. I promise you that much. They seem to be the ones that are actually there for you. And when they say that they'll provide and take care of you, sis, it's them. It's not this man. So I don't know. Maybe love's what got you here. I don't know. Don't throw common sense out the window.
Don't let it escape you.
Do not it doesn't make sense. I don't think that at the moment that this is a recipe for a successful marriage.
This man is literally more than happy for anybody else to subsidize their life.
Yeah.
That is fucking crazy to me. He's more than happy for his in-laws to provide his weekly food shop, you know, his weekly household shop, because $20 is not cutting it. Like, what are we doing here? That's what I don't get. But honestly, my attitude literally is to always leave. But this is a marriage, like, try to make it work. And more often than not, sit down, try and talk it out and see what the problem is, because there clearly is a problem. Maybe he's bad with finances. I don't know. But you know what? Once you have a conversation and you have oversight of exactly what is coming into that household, maybe she can help him budget properly. I don't know what it is, but something has to give. But it starts with a conversation. It doesn't start with her leaving. And it definitely doesn't start with her becoming the breadwinner.
No. I completely agree. I think that that's sound advice. But I'm just
May just got savagery.
Leave. This situation is bad.
It's strange.
Who of us can survive on $20 a week?
I couldn't.
And when
I
say,
always say this to you, I'll just move into your house because ain't no way.
She does.
I always say, I'm like,
we'll look after her.
Her and the 2 kids.
this was my story. Better understand we're getting a bigger house and we're moving in together. Sister, wives, with no
I'm
husband.
dying.
Because ain't no way. I'm not going to do that.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I've only got $20.
Yeah,
£20 in this London. It will
in
barely
this
buy you
economy.
beans,
In this economy.
toast. What are we eating?
No.
But also, sorry, can I just mention that, you know, like in a household, do you know how many times you need household goods as well? See that $20? Is that
Kitchen
$20?
tissue,
Kitchen tissue,
toilet
toilet
paper,
paper, cleaning products.
Listen.
What?
No, but it's just for a family of 3. And that's why I said, me by my one self, I've never spent £20 a week. Literally.
Impossible.
I'm a full grown adult. Like, it's not happening.
It's crazy.
In this economy, in the cost of living today.
Yeah, it's not going to cut it.
So, top comment. I don't know how to tell you this, but your husband is keeping you around for cheap labour.
God forbid.
It's making sense.
It's making sense. She looks after the house. He pays her $20 a week.
The rest of his money could even go to prostitutes, you know.
How did you get there?
It's possible.
No, that's wild. That's wild.
I'll tell you how May got there. In the criminal justice system, sexual-based offences are seen as heinous crimes.
Wow.
The New York team. That's how she got there.
Now, that is wild.
Every time. No.
That is wild.
If
you know
in
what?
doubt, just have
Wow.
dun, 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 meow. That is
No,
where,
that's mad.
that's where May lives.
Crazy.
That's where my
It's true.
mind
She
always
does.
goes
It's
to.
now.
But I promise you, it's like whenever they die or something happens, they look into their finances and the answers are there. sis.
It's not often prostitutes, bro. What?
We know that 96% of you that watch this podcast do not subscribe. If you enjoy this content and have enjoyed any one of our episodes, please do subscribe. It helps us reach people much like yourselves. And don't forget, we are on Instagram, X, TikTok, and right here on YouTube.
Okay, so this dilemma is from Truth Off My Chest. My husband left our 5-year-old and 9-month-old home alone and refuses to explain why. My husband is 43 and I'm 31. We've been married for 7 years and have a 5-year-old and a 9-month-old. My husband left our children alone and he refuses to admit it to me and tell me where he was. I'm furious, enraged, and my husband keeps telling me I'm making a big deal about nothing. This just happened this weekend. I'm on the board of directors for a local non-profit organisation. I had to attend an event for that organisation this Saturday, and I was gone for most of the day. My husband was supposed to be home with our kids. I texted him a few times and he responded. When I called around midday, he didn't respond, and that's not very unusual. Shortly after that, I got a call from my mum. She said my son had just called her, and when she asked him what he and his sister were doing, he said they were both watching TV. When she asked where their dad was, he said his dad wasn't there. My mum asked him several other questions, and from my son's responses, she believed he was telling the truth and that my husband wasn't there and there were no adults there at all. She said he didn't seem to be scared to be alone and worried about where his dad was. He just called her to chat. He has a tablet designed for children with pre-programmed contacts that he can call. It's only a few people, just family members. I left the event immediately and began texting and calling my husband repeatedly. He didn't respond to my first several attempts. It took him about 10 minutes, in brackets, I was halfway home at that point, to respond. I was so confused, so worried and really mad, and I asked him where he was. He said he was at home. I told him our son had just told his grandmother that he was home alone with his baby sister watching TV about 15 minutes ago. My husband denied it, and I told him I was too upset to talk and drive. When I got home, I checked on the kids right away and they were both fine. I asked my husband again, where was he? He said he was home the entire time. He didn't know what our son was talking about, but he must have been confused since he was down in the basement doing laundry. I ran down to the basement. It was the same load of laundry I'd thrown in the dryer the night before. He didn't do any laundry when I was gone. I asked my husband why my son would be confused about whether his dad was home or not. Where in our home would he have gone, and for how long for our son to think his dad wasn't home? That doesn't make sense with a 5-year-old and a 9-month-old. You wouldn't leave them unattended that long. Why was he nowhere to be found when my mum asked my son to go check certain areas of the house? I begged my husband to just admit it, to stop treating me like an idiot and to stop accusing our son of lying. Just tell me the truth, because being lied right to my face is so incredibly maddening. He insists he was home, but he can't come up with any believable story of where he was at and what he was doing during that time. The way he answers me when I ask him about this and demands truthful answers is so dismissive. When I tell him, you left our children alone, he quickly says, no, I didn't. So anyway, he says I'm overreacting and letting our son's imagination drive me crazy. I am convinced he was gone. We don't have a Ring camera, but at least one of our neighbours does. I'm so upset about this that I'm tempted to ask our neighbour for the Ring footage. I had to go out to my car and scream and cry because I got so upset. Of course I didn't want my kids to see my reaction. I can't put into words how upset I am about the fact that I know he must have really left them alone, but I have no proof and I'm being treated like I'm just a paranoid nutcase of a mother/woman by him.
That man left those kids. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he's lying is so weak. It's so weak. He definitely... What you need to do is just go and get that evidence. Print out those photos.
Yeah.
And if you're anything like me, I would stick them in the hallway. No, I would. I wouldn't present them. I would stick them as he goes, and I'll put them in every place he said he was. So you see that? That's you leaving. You see that? That's you coming back. That's the timestamp. Where were you? Where were you? And that's what I would do.
He's cheating. And based on her saying that her son confidently answered his grandma's questions, this is not the first time that he's left them alone.
1,000%.
And I am so concerned because there is nothing safe about leaving a 5-year-old and a 9-month-old together. The 5-year-old can't come and protect that 9-year-old. The 5-year-old is not an adult. They're not even a teenager. You can leave a teenager alone. But a 5-year-old, let me tell you, he's cheating and he's a very bad liar. He's gaslighting you, so he's causing doubt. Go get that evidence from your neighbours and present that in your divorce proceedings. Because let me tell you, if he can dismiss you today and get away with it, it will continue. Now, what you need is not only that evidence, but you also need to put hidden cameras in your house now.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So as and when you are unavailable and he is the primary carer of your kids, you need evidence that he wasn't present in the home.
Yep.
So put one in the laundry room, because this is clearly his little excuse room. Put one obviously clearly in the living room, and try and figure out a way that you can put one next to the front door or something that actively sees him leaving. Because do you know what? I don't want you to start relying on footage from your neighbours. You don't need to bring them into
Your business,
whatever's happening in this situation. But put hidden cameras in your household and you will start to see a pattern. He's cheating on you, though. For me, it's really obvious. It's so obvious that he's cheating, but he's not good at it yet. There's going to come a point where he's doing it so frequently that lying will be a lot easier. He'll get better at that. But I'm telling you right now, this is not the first time your kids have been alone, and that's so concerning from a safety perspective.
Yeah.
Like 1,000,000,000%. That man is neglecting his kids. Do you know that's called child neglect?
Yeah.
That's why I said collect that
are
evidence for the divorce proceedings.
Those are grounds for divorce, separation, lack of visitations in terms of parental rights.
Supervised visitations.
Supervised visits. This situation is really scary. Like a 5-year-old.
It's extremely scary.
A
Anything can happen
5-year-old
in the
is the
house.
adult in this situation. Do you know that? A 5-year-old is taking care of their 9-month-old sibling. That is scary.
I'm just so thankful that your son has a great relationship with his grandparents.
And he knows how to use his tablet and call. Because that's good. At least he could call the police. God forbid they were ever in trouble or anything. But no, this is really scary. Your husband is actually neglecting your kids for whatever reasons and then lying straight to your face. But also, what's even more scary is he's unfazed by it. He just dismisses it. He hasn't even got the audacity to like lie properly and to blow up, get like really angry. There are a number of things going on here. One is definitely neglect, but in regards to your husband leaving, he's either cheating or he's up to something very, very wild, which honestly is like drugs. That man could be an addict of some kind, whether it's gambling, whatever it might be, because those are the only people that seem kind of numb to regular harm, because his kids are at harm. Anything could have happened. A fire could have started, and he just seems to lie straight in your face and say that he was downstairs in the basement doing laundry that hasn't been done. He couldn't even lie properly at all. That's incredibly scary. And May's correct, with which your son answered and was talking casually, by the way, to the grandma. This has happened many, many, many times. Yeah, get that surveillance, get that ring, get your own ring once, and then get hidden cameras in and around the home.
And do you know what? He doesn't fear her. He doesn't fear.
But that's why I think he's addict.
No, he doesn't. No, listen. He doesn't fear her. He doesn't fear that there's any consequences.
That man is not with us.
To like
that man is not with us. That's not normal. That's not normal. That's not normal. I'm sorry, May. We've got nieces, nephews, Marie's kids. We've been around kids. I'm sorry, a 5-year-old.
No,
leaving a 5-year-old.
I'm saying fear his wife. He knows she's not going to leave. I'm telling you, having that confidence means that he can carry on doing whatever he's doing because he knows nothing's going to happen. You need like actions and consequences. What are the consequences of you having found this information out? Like, 100%. Like, I think you know in your gut that the kids were left alone. What are you going to do about it, OP? Because there needs to be something that creates fear in his mind so he doesn't do that again. Right now, there's no opposition. He doesn't fear you. He doesn't fear any consequences that will happen from this. No, Melinda, it's
agreed. But
it's
I think it's even more agreed. But I think it's one thing for you to, I don't know, like cause the end of your relationship, marriage, whatever it is with your partner. But for most adults, whether they're related or not, to put kids in harm's way, because that's what he did. Mm-hmm. To put kids in harm's way, like most adults or most people that are normal would know they need to lie. They need to, come up with a reason, a solid reason. There needs to be a justifiable reason that you left 2 kids alone. One kid, and a baby alone. That's not normal. That's what I'm saying. Like, look at the way he's responded. Can't even lie properly. Ain't even mad. It's just dismissive. That man, there's something crazy. There's something not 100%. I'm sorry. Okay, so we've got a top comment. It's either drugs or an affair. Also, the fact that your 5-year-old was calm and nonchalant about the situation makes me believe that he does this frequently enough that the kids are used to it. OP response. My mum said that she and my son chatted for at least 5 minutes before she asked him where his dad was. And when she asked that, she still didn't think anything was wrong. She was just trying to make conversation. He gave no indication that anything was wrong. And when she started asking him more questions regarding his dad's whereabouts, he didn't seem fazed. Yeah, he's done it before.
Yeah.
He's literally done it before.
My story is from Mothers-in-Law from Hell. Mother-in-law ruins our wedding. I, female 21 from another country, dated my husband, male 27 from UK for 2 years. Don't want to hear anything about the age gap. As I was flirting with him and fully came on to him, I had to convince him to take me seriously. We travelled every 1.5 months to see each other and saw each other's family quite often. My in-laws were always so nice to me. If anyone would have told me 7 months ago that I would be writing this post, I would have laughed in their face. We talked about getting a visa with my in-laws, and they knew because of the kind of visa I was going to be on, I wasn't allowed to work for the first 6 months. They kindly offered to let us rent 2 rooms in their home, a bedroom and a room that still had to be refurbished in order to become a sitting room. They seemed so happy I was moving to the UK, and I genuinely didn't see the switch coming. I saved up for a visa and moved here 5 months ago. We moved into the tiny bedroom. Half the wardrobes were full of their stuff, so I had to keep my stuff in boxes for a while. Mother-in-law made this whole problem about having 2 suitcases in the bedroom for her grandchildren, even though they never really visit. I explained we didn't have any space in our room, so I asked if they were maybe able to empty a wardrobe so I can put some clothes away. She kept saying she didn't have space. A month or so after that, she opened my suitcases and stuffed the stuff that was in it in 2 garbage bags, breaking some of my stuff.
Whoa.
I was really sad. After saying that she broke some of my stuff, she finally made some space in a wardrobe. Not because I asked, but because my hubby asked her. To give some extra context, I'm not sitting on the sofa all day. I make myself useful. When they are at work, I clean and vacuum. I wash clothes, iron, take care of the animals, etc. I helped my mother-in-law to strip the room next door, the one she promised multiple times would be our sitting room. I was there multiple days taking wallpaper off the walls, sanding them, doing mold treatments, cleaning the floor after everything that we'd done. One day she casually mentions that room is going to be an extra room so all the grandkids can all stay over at the same time. She had me working there without telling me that and without ever mentioning a change of plans. I was a little upset by it, but never mentioned it because I had just moved there and it wasn't my place. I just found it weird that even when I talked about what the room would become, she had never corrected me. My father-in-law has already met my family, but my mother-in-law was too sick to go out for dinner, so she has never met my family before the wedding. My family travelled over a few weeks before, especially to meet my in-laws. A few weeks later, our wedding approaches. Mother-in-law keeps saying that she is really not looking forward to the wedding. She says she will be sick. Mother-in-law is not talking to one of her daughters, so she was complaining about us inviting her, complaining about the food, she is diabetic, even though we arranged for her to have a special meal. She also kept telling me what to do to get ready for the wedding and told me to weigh myself, then laughed because I was heavier than she is. I'm about 1'6'7" and 74 kg. I am not a skinny woman, but I don't consider myself to be seriously overweight. She kept mentioning my weight after this. I didn't know this at the time, and I thought she didn't know, but my husband had told them I had struggled with an eating disorder, and she still did that. The wedding itself was horrible. She completely ignored my family, which to me is a personal insult. Didn't want to be in any pictures. Sat on the stage while there was a space for her at multiple tables. Didn't want any food. Complained about how cold it was. Had a fight with her daughter, the one she doesn't talk to. It got to a point where my friends, who didn't know about any of the situations before, noticed that the atmosphere was very intense.
Wow.
No family is perfect, but even my aunts, who have a years-long feud going on, were polite to each other.
Not a year-long feud.
It'd be like that sometimes.
They were polite to each other and plainly avoided each other without affecting our day. With everything that happened before this is when I started seeing her differently than before. Mother-in-law told my husband she behaved this way because my husband gave my family hugs while greeting them. Normal and polite greeting in my culture. I can't remember all the little things that have happened since then, but this week she apparently went through my laundry. She must have seen my underwear because that night during dinner, she started talking about how big my underwear is compared to hers.
Oh, what is this?
And how big I am with her husband and mine at the table.
What?
I was truly mortified. At this point, I don't know what to do anymore. My husband keeps taking her side, and whenever I bring it up, he just tunes me out or falls asleep while I am talking. I feel so alone. I don't know if I would have married him if I knew all of this was going to happen. apart from this, he is the love of my life.
No,
I can't lose him over his mum being childish.
you can.
Right.
What do you guys think?
Apart from
Again,
do-
I'm going to say this, and like I said, I've said it before. People miss out a massive deal,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, "But we get along so great. He's the love of my life. He's your biggest op, my guy. He falls asleep when you're talking to him about your problems. You know it's not too late to annul the whole wedding and go back home. You know it's okay to go back home. Go back home to the family that loves you, because the family that's basically taking you in are abusing you. Specifically that mother.
Yeah.
That mother is abusing you.
Yeah.
She's using you as a personal person to bully in that house. You are going to be her target until the end of time. God forbid should you get pregnant and you have a baby. Either she's jealous of you, which is normally where this type of bullying starts from,
Yeah.
or she's jealous that you've taken her son,
Yeah.
or whatever weird thing is going on. Either way, we don't need to suss it out. We don't need to find out what's going on. What you do need to do is talk to your parents and find a way to go back home. This is not the love that you left your country for, please.
Literally.
Ew.
I don't understand. She just, you
She's
know
a
what? When you started with the title mother-in-law from hell, I just thought, okay, cool. At first, it didn't sound so bad, and it's like, what?
She's from the crust of
What?
hell. She's
What?
down there.
No, I just don't get it. But anyway, as part of the dilemma, you just listed off like a whole list. And then she says at the end, but apart from that, he's the love of my life. Are you fucking crazy? What?
I'm telling you.
That mother-in-law is using her, one, for cheap labour in order to
The theme
to
of the
renovate
episode.
that spare room, one. And then she's literally emotionally violating her and abusing her, taunting her about the size of her underwear. And even though she knows that she's got a history in terms of, weight, etc. Like, what? And then her partner, her husband, just dismisses it.
My
I'm
thing
sorry,
is,
sis, go back home. Marie's right. Go back home.
not before getting some shots in though.
Like, absolutely, yeah, with me, I would go ham. I'm not even gonna lie. On my way out, hey, no matter shots, I would talk about her home, her husband. I would talk about everything. I would destroy her. But anyway, trying to be a better, more mature individual, I would say leave. Like, literally tell your parents what's going on if you are close with them, and ask if you can come back home because this isn't working. And leave. No, this is nasty. That mother-in-law is nasty work.
Listen, you're right, but it's not cheap labour; it's free labour. So
It's true.
clear difference. And yeah, you're right. It's psychological abuse, like through and through. Like you said, every single time you bring up anything with your husband, he sides with his mother. Now, this is a clear glimpse into the future of what your relationship looks like. Sis, are you going to be happy with that? Are you going to be happy with this being how things work in your marriage? Because if the answer is no, go back home. And he might be the love of your life. If he loved you, he wouldn't treat you like this. If he loved you and you had concerns, he'll take them seriously and he'll do something about it. If he loved you, he wouldn't tune you out. He wouldn't fall asleep. What?
No, but he also wouldn't allow that treatment from his own parents or own mother. He wouldn't. Someone that loves you will protect you. He's not protecting her.
Yeah. And what concerns me is, yes, you said you're not overweight. Should you decide that you want to lose weight and you become smaller than her,
It's on.
the psychological abuse you're experiencing now, let's times that by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's clear some jealousy. I don't know. I think there's underlying jealousy somewhere in this. And it will increase significantly once you start to look better than her, your knickers are smaller. What she did, that conversation about your underwear and her going, like, that's the second time she's gone into your thing. She went into your suitcase. That's a clear violation of of you as a human being. She doesn't respect you. She went into your suitcase, put all of your stuff into garbage bin liners.
Yep.
That's horrible. And then she went into your laundry. You're being violated.
Literally.
And I don't know why you're able to overlook it because he's the love of your life. Right now, you're being mistreated. And I'm telling you, at the moment, the focal point is the mother-in-law. It's also your husband.
Why
It's
is it?
also
That's why
your
I said, why is he
husband.
allowing it? Someone that loves you protects you, and that's from your sister, your friend, your partner, your husband, your mum, your parents. They protect you. But how are my underwear being used for dinner time conversation?
On top of that, I know you said at the beginning, oh, you know, we shouldn't talk about your age, you chased him. Sis, he knew what he was doing. You're younger, you're more impressionable.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, he's also doing that because you're what? A small girl.
No,
She's 21, right?
21.
Yeah.
I feel so for her. She needs to get her shit and leave.
Okay, top comment. He falls asleep while you're talking to him.
Right.
That's a partner problem. Thank you. That's it.
Exactly.
That's all you need to understand. And please go back home. Life has to be better than this situation that you're currently in.
A no.
I feel really sorry for and around the narrative that divorce is failure.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people stay in it a lot longer. And especially when you're young as well, you don't want to go back home, tail between your legs, saying that your marriage didn't work out and you feel like a failure. I feel so sorry for people like that. But especially if you come from a loving background, loving home, you do know what love is. And this is not it. You might have entered a new family, but you do actually come from a good family. This one ain't it. Even you said your aunts that are feuding for a year can behave themselves, and she had no manners on your day. And it can... Sis, I think you know where it is anyway. Leave, please, immediately.
It's only going to get worse, by the way.
Okay, so mine is from Cheating Stories. My ex tried to cheat. It didn't work out for him, though. After some time, my ex would sleep with his phone in his pocket. A weird red flag, but I never said anything. When I noticed he wouldn't even pull his phone in front of me, I knew something was up. One night, it slipped out of his sweats and I woke up with it near my legs. I was just going to put it back on a charger, honestly, but I saw he had a bunch of notifications and messages from a dating app. Man, I wanted to slap him awake, but I didn't. So I created a profile using a friend of mine's pictures that he never met.
Ooh, I like it.
So I created a profile of a friend of mine's pictures, in brackets, that he'd never met, and I had her approval. She was 100% his type, and I knew he loved blue eyes. So when we matched, like I knew he would, we got to chatting. We talked for about a week before I suggested meeting up, flirting, sexual stuff. He told her, in brackets me, that he was single and lived with a friend. So I suggested he pay for a hotel room so we could fuck.
Oh.
He said he would. We picked a spot. Mind you, I paid for everything because he was unemployed after losing his job. He drained my savings account over the year with manipulation. We're family. We take care of each other when we're in tough spots, he would say whenever I told him I didn't have extra money. I paid my student loans, all bills of a 1-bedroom and the food.
Wow.
This boy had the balls to ask me for the money in person. That his mum's birthday was coming up and he wanted to buy her something nice. So I gave him $50. Just because it was hilarious at this point. I still think about the smile on his face at that moment. That weekend he left, said he was going to his mum's and that he'd probably stay the night. I kissed him goodbye and told him to have a great time. Then I packed up all his stuff and left it outside.
Good.
I live in the
Good.
US city, so it went fast. Got the locks changed.
I love this.
Got the locks changed. He messaged me a few times on the app. I told him I was running late because I wanted to look perfect, but I was coming and so sorry. My friend also sent me some sexy pictures to send him that I didn't fully include her face. She's a real one. I even talked him into jerking off and sending me a video. Wow. Then, after making him sit until about 1 a.m., I messaged him on the dating app a picture of his belongings being rummaged through by a homeless man.
Oh my God.
And to enjoy his stay at the hotel. As soon as my phone rang, I blocked his number and went to bed.
Good.
He was outside my door the Monday I came home from work, ugly crying, begging, telling me he was homeless and he had nowhere to go. When I wasn't having it, he got angry as usual. Once he started grabbing and trying to get into my apartment, I called the police. Filed a restraining order because he did threaten my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In brackets, and my pets. for putting him out. Found out he ended up moving a few hours away where his only family is and has a job. Hopefully he learnt something.
No, that is hilarious.
That is a masterclass in how to treat cheaters. No, it was. Well done.
She
Yeah.
said her friend sent sexy pictures.
I really like
No,
the
that was
teamwork.
crazy. Yeah, me too.
I just love how decisive she was.
Yep.
And just like, she followed through. She had a plan. She did it.
Loved it.
Success.
Yeah. That man was really taking advantage of her, you know?
One
I
time.
know.
Bills and all.
So he could get a
And
job.
even
Look at that.
and the lies as well. It's his mum's birthday, he needs money for that. Wow. To cheat on her.
Do you know what?
He's
Like,
got no shame, you know?
I really love her
None.
comeback.
Can't even use his own money to go cheat.
I
He wants to
know.
use
That's not
hers.
right.
No, he doesn't have
That's
money.
nasty work.
I really love her comeback because
Yeah.
she was a fool for a while. And
Yep.
she knows that,
Yep.
but she rectified that in a big way.
Yeah.
Sis, you did a big one with that.
Nah, that's hilarious.
A big one.
Oh, I like that. I really liked it.
Top comment.
Fantastic.
Damn, you're one bad bitch.
Yeah.
You need to take this skill and teach others. You are one Jedi master.
Yeah.
I bow down to your strength and discipline.
Yeah.
And
Same.
OP's response in speech bubble, always pass on what you have learned, Yoda.
Love that. Okay, this dilemma is from Am I the Arsehole? Am I the arsehole for breaking up with my fiancé and cancelling the wedding after she admitted to having fantasies of doing better than me after her weight loss journey? My fiancé, 27 female, and I, 27 male, were together for almost 9 years. I proposed to her a couple of years ago and I really loved her a lot. After my proposal, she started her weight loss journey and asked if she could set the wedding date only after she reached her goal. I supported her through her journey and I was really proud of the progress she made. She lost more than 100 pounds and while she still looked great before, she looked gorgeous after her journey. She was also upfront with me and admitted that she was getting a lot more attention now, and it was the most attention she had ever gotten in her life. It did make me somewhat insecure. She even said that a really cute guy at a grocery store complimented her tattoo once and asked for her number, even though he could see her engagement ring. However, my fiancé told me she rejected him. One night when she was super drunk, she admitted she sometimes had dreams of getting a hot, tall finance guy. But after seeing my reaction to that, my fiancé instantly apologised. A lot of these insecurities were building up on me, and I did speak with my best friend and asked her if this was normal. And she said it wasn't normal at all, and what my fiancé was doing was not okay. Last week, I admitted to my fiancé I couldn't do it anymore. My fiancé was shocked and apologised a lot and started crying. I was surprised with her reaction because she did admit to wanting a better guy than me. My fiancé told me she was just proud of the progress she made and that I was the only one she loved and would ever love. She did kind of freak out a lot and asked if I was influenced by my best friend, and I told her honestly that yes, I did seek external advice because my insecurities were just eating me up inside. My fiancé did tell me she would never do it again. She was crying a lot and it looked like she was having a panic attack, and I was honestly worried about her, so I told her I would think about it because I just wanted my fiancé to calm down at that moment because I think what I said just shocked her a lot. However, the next day when she calmed down a bit, I told her my decision was final and that I just have lost a lot of love for her.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I get it. She's losing the weight. She's telling you, you kind of look like a bum. I kind of wish I had someone better. Hey, it's fair enough. The decision is fair enough. The decision is fair enough.
That was a good decision that you made, and I really like that you stuck to your guns, OP. Like, the thing is, there's little things happen in people's lives, and based on how they react, that actually shows you who their true character is.
Yeah.
And the character that presented itself once she lost weight was actually not a character for you. And if it was bringing up insecurities within you, then that's also a person that you shouldn't be with. And that's just for anybody. If you're with anybody that makes you feel insecure, you probably need to leave that relationship. So you did the right thing. You did the right thing, OP.
She told him she wants a hot, tall finance guy.
And that was the moment she fucked up. Trust me, I swear. It would have been...
Mate, I once went on a date with a guy.
Wow.
Did I tell you how he was just like, oh, you know, you look much darker than you do in your pictures.
Said.
You told us.
Oh,
It's not
I don't
okay.
normally date like this. Man was blacker than this microphone pod here,
Wow.
out here telling me, oh, I normally date that. I was like, have you seen yourself?
Wow.
So
No,
yeah,
that
this, she was giving him all the fantasies. She's like, I wish your face was not your face. I wish your body
She
was
lost
your
her
body.
mind.
Yeah, she lost her mind.
Lost
She
her
got
mind. She lost
excited.
the weight, lost her mind, lost perspective.
And
Because
lost
do you
the
know
man.
what she did? That's what I was going to say.
9
Let me tell you
years.
something. She
9
fumbled the
years.
bag. She fumbled the bag because you know what's going to happen? Sis, it's not greener on the other side. Let me tell you, as a single person, these streets are mean.
Oh,
These streets are not
and
easy.
so cold.
And when you're in a relationship, everything looks great. Like
Listen.
the other side of things, what you don't know, but you fumbled a good man. I'm gonna hazard a guess he's actually a good person.
Yeah.
No, she said the hot finance guy, and she also said a better guy than him. Do you know that? She said better guy. That is out of order.
She said the level I was at, you were good.
yeah,
but
but
there's-
now,
I can get better.
no, that's
The thing
out
is,
of
sis,
order. That is so
It is
not okay.
so hard outside.
Oh my!
Out there,
Good luck.
It's
And also, I'm not being funny, like, but this is her first time, it appears, that she's lost weight. Sis, hold tight.
it's the first time she's felt beautiful as
Yeah,
well.
that weight might be coming back for a little bit. You know what I mean? So hold tight. These decisions that you're making, because you're feeling happy, because you're on a high,
Yeah,
they're
she's on
temporary. They could be very temporary, but you had a good guy.
she's being very short-sighted.
She's been incredibly short-sighted.
Very short-sighted. And then also, sis, you know those compliments and how they're treating you, they're very surface level.
Yes. Let's
I
speak about that
need
one.
you to understand how they're talking about you is just based on looks alone.
Yep.
They don't know you. See this man that you've been with since you were both 18 years old? He knows you. He loves you despite your flaws. You're going to go outside and you're going to realize that not only was it surface level deep, but there's nothing underneath. There is no depth in some of these people that you're idolizing and fantasizing that you could be in a relationship with. I promise you, some people, they only look good. That's it. You actually have somebody that loves you for you. Anyway, you'll suffer. You'll suffer.
Yeah, do you know what? She is, as I said, short-sighted. This is just a temporary high. To be able to lose 100 pounds, woo, that's a lot of weight. 100 pounds is a lot of weight. So I can totally understand. She looks different. She feels different. She's incredibly confident. Totally get it. But at the same time, like, that man loved you for who you are. All of that. It's the same as, like, you know, now there's a lot more content about girls realizing that getting a BBL has changed their life, changed the way that men see them. They're now seen as just a piece of meat, very sexualized. It's like that. Like, yes, I know you always wanted to be seen a certain type of way, to be seen as sexy, to be seen as attractive. But at the same time, there's a lot of cons as well. And you just fumbled a bag with a good guy. But there's a top comment. Let me tell you a story. Myself and my husband have been quite overweight and in brackets, obese at some point since we met, more so myself. Over the past 8 to 9 months, we both got into a semi-serious workout and we look nothing like before. And I too have been getting some more attention in the streets since I feel a lot more confident than ever. I can tell you right here, right now, that I've never, ever fantasized about getting someone better than my husband because I love him. I want to be with him. I don't care about someone else's attention and love. So no, you're not overreacting. And what she did was shitty on many levels. You're right to protect yourself as you should, not the asshole. And I'm sorry she did you dirty like that. You don't deserve it.
I agree. Not the arsehole. My story is from Cheating Stories. My female, 56, husband of 34 years cheated on me with my daughter's 18-year-old best friend. My husband of 34 years, age 58, cheated on me with an 18-year-old. Me and my husband have had a perfect marriage for the past 34 years. We have 4 daughters together who have all become successful and had kids of their own, minus our youngest, age 17, Annie, who we had 16 years after our first. Annie still lives with us as she is a senior in high school. Annie is very popular and quite often has friends over on the weekend and after school. She has a best friend named Bailey, age 18, who is almost always at our house. Bailey has formed a very good relationship with my husband and I. She comes to church with us most Sunday mornings and often comes to family gatherings. About a month ago, I started realising Bailey and my husband would often watch movies together on the weekends after Annie fell asleep. I didn't think much of it in the beginning, but grew more uncomfortable with it as it continued almost every weekend for over a month. 2 days ago, I asked Annie about the situation and found out she had no clue this was going on, and said she was going to express to Bailey how uncomfortable she felt about the situation. She also informed me of a situation Bailey had with another one of my daughter's friend's dads, where she would get him alone and talk badly about his wife to try and trick him into sleeping with her. Today, I got up the courage to go through my husband's phone. I know it's an invasion of privacy, but a woman's intuition is never wrong.
Yep.
The first thing I checked was his messages. I found a contact with Bailey's name and clicked on the messages. When I looked at the messages, all I saw was a message from my husband that said, "I can't wait to do it again next weekend," with a winking emoji. The response from Bailey read, "I can't wait till you're out of that place and we can do it every day." I haven't said anything to my husband or daughter about this yet. 1, because I don't want to jump to conclusions and ruin the past 34 years of marriage with my husband. 2, I don't want to ruin my daughter's friendship and reputation at school. I want to confront my husband, but I also don't want to ruin my daughter's life. What should I do?
Whenever these little things, these dilemmas come up, I'm like, you're thinking small. You need to be thinking big. No. You need to be thinking big. Your daughter's not going to have a problem with you telling off her friend, because she's even uncomfortable with that situation. So that's number one. I can completely understand the fact that you're uncomfortable. It's nerve-wracking having to confront someone that you've been with, I imagine, for 34 years, because confronting someone saying you're cheating on me, that has to be nerve-wracking. But I would go at him like a raging bull. And also, sister, you noticed him cuddling and you didn't say anything at the time, because I would have been like, what is going on here?
Literally.
I just feel like there were red flags everywhere. But you know what? Now that you found out, I would go and I would headbutt that man. Like, you're fucking crazy. You're going to disrespect me and our marriage after 34 years and you want to ask me what you should do? I think you should go in there, close the door and have at him. That's what I actually think you should do. Like, let's pause on the girl for a minute, because people are always going for the women. I would go at him.
Yeah.
Her. Anyway.
I don't see. Agreed. I'm with you in all of that. But I think the reasons why she's asking is because she hasn't got solid evidence to share. Because honestly, cheaters, men and women, will say that little text that she saw, the little text message saying, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to do that again." It isn't really clear that it's cheating and could possibly manipulate her and say it's something else, like maybe watching a movie.
Do we know where this is? Because
No.
if it's the US, she can have those, you know, like I used to watch Cheaters.
Yeah.
She can have one of those private investigators come and collect
agreed.
evidence for her. It won't be that hard, because they're sloppy with it. Then they're doing it whenever. And she's also kind of seen it with her eyes. I do definitely agree with what you said. She hasn't got concrete evidence, but it's also inappropriate for an 18-year-old to text a 50-something-year-old man that information. So just on those grounds alone, she can confront her husband. And also, when you've been married to someone for a really long time, you kind of know their lying cues, I would say.
Yeah, but remember, they've had a amazing 34-year marriage.
Yeah,
as far as she knows. So she probably doesn't have any kind of history until now of him even being inappropriate, possibly cheating. She hasn't got that kind of evidence. So I understand why she's possibly writing in, because maybe she feels that she needs more solid evidence, because he could gaslight her, manipulate the situation and say, no, it's not that. It's watching the movies every weekend. Do you know what I mean? It could be anything. Don't get me wrong. I think it's massively inappropriate, but maybe she wants that solid advice. And then also, let's not forget, 34 years is a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's hard enough having that conversation after 1 or 2 years. 34 years, your life is entwined. Like, you've got kids, you've got properties, you've got assets together. Like, the alternative route, and after having this conversation, is going down divorce. Like, that is something that you don't want to do, or you don't want to walk towards quickly, like, without having exhausted and making sure that what you thought you're seeing and, you know, are thinking is actually, well, like, this man is actually cheating on you.
Yeah, I agree.
He's definitely cheating.
I think he is,
Yeah.
but I
Okay.
think she probably wants solid evidence.
Girls, I just want to read Bailey's response to the message was, I can't wait till you're out of that place and we can do it every day.
Yeah, but what place?
What do you think that they're trying to do every day? And why does she think that he's moving out? That's all the information that I need.
I am telling you right now, the way men can gaslight you,
and that's
God.
where common sense has to prevail.
Agreed.
Because where did she get this notion that you're moving out? No, that's a man telling a woman, let's consider Bailey to be a woman, even though
She's what, 18?
she's a child as far as I'm concerned. He's telling a woman that I'm going to leave my wife and I'll be moving out. This is not the first time in history this has been said. Come, use your common sense. He's telling her that he's going to move out of
Hey,
the home.
Me, I can add up properly.
I
It's not a
agree.
problem.
I
I'm with
agree
you.
that she should seek. No, let me tell you. I agree.
1
she should
plus 1
add up
equals 2,
properly.
bro.
Let me tell you. No. I agree that she should seek more evidence.
Yeah.
But it's clear. It's, to me anyway, it's crystal clear that an affair has ensued, and he's having an affair with someone 30 years younger than him.
Do you know what she needs to do? She needs to get her daughter on the case. I know she probably doesn't want to, obviously, but get her daughter to look into her
Bailey's
friend's phone. Thank you. I'm
You're
telling
right,
you right now,
you're
yeah,
right.
that 18-year-old has got all the texts. The
She
husband probably
There's
has
no
deleted.
need for her to delete it.
Yeah, the husband has probably deleted his. Like, I'm telling you right now, the evidence is on that phone.
Right.
No, this is mad.
That's solid advice.
That is crazy.
Okay, top comment. The young lady clearly has daddy issues, zero
Yeah.
loyalty, and a low moral compass. I wouldn't want her to be around my daughter.
Yep.
As for your husband, the fool isn't thinking with the right head and should be ashamed of himself because he's playing sugar daddy with his own daughter's friend and destroying a happy home for his own selfishness. He is disgusting. Neither deserves compassion, and your daughter and you deserve better. Better a bitter truth than a sweet lie.
It's true.
There you go. There you go. It's true. I really like Melinda's idea. Get everything from Bailey's phone.
And that's a wrap for today. Drop your subreddits in the comments and we'll see you next time.
And don't forget, if you have any stories, we would love to hear from them.
Catch you next time.
Bye. After the dentist appointment.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
That hurt your ear, innit?
What?
What the? Michael. So sorry, Michael.
Wow.
That shocked us all, mate.
Okay, firstly, it wasn't Mother-in-Law from Hell. You literally just made up that title. It was Mother-in-Law Ruins My Wedding.
No, but,
No,
it's
but
from
you
Mother
said
in
it's from Mother-in-Law from
It's-
Hell.
It's from Mother-in-law in Hell.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey, mate.
I want a public apology, bro. I want a public apology because it's always Melinda doesn't listen.
Because Melinda doesn't listen.
But I listened.
You won.
I listened.
No,
I
you,
listened.
you won this round.